Welcome to part 2 of this circus as we continue with another witness from the Catholic community. It's going to be Detective Lukas Hallmark, and he was a participant in the parade with the Catholic community. I would love to think Brooks's attitude has improved, but I believe that he will only be more sour by now. I really wish the father would have sprinkled some holy water on him, because he probably would have really sizzled. But, you know, he's gonna be in a bad mood. Let's face it. I'm actually in a bad mood. My head is like, ugh. See? We have to remind ourselves, though, that he is in prison for 1,000 years. It's probably really less, but I just like saying 1,000 years. It sounds better. Well, okay, I thought they were coming back here. Let me see. Of course, as soon as I move it. Hope y'all are doing well, by the way. Let me see.
Attorney Opera, you just wanted to address timing.
Events.
There we go.
We do have 2 witnesses here ready to go. If the next witness goes relatively smoothly, would you consider letting us call the second one and maybe wrapping up by about 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If not, he can come back tomorrow, but he's been here twice already.
No, we'll keep going. I prepped the jury for that yesterday, so we're good.
Oh, wow. You know what I can already say right now? Whether I've seen it or not. It's been a long time since I've seen this one. But it's not going to go smoothly. Let's face it. Brooks's job, he thinks his mission in life is to make everyone as miserable as possible. Although I don't think he thinks he's bringing any misery, but he sure is. He's a miserable human being. Okay, let's get this dog and pony show on. Go on.
I'm going to have the jury brought out. All right. Bring the jury in, Madam Clerk.
And I object to that.
To what?
To the timing?
Yes.
Your objections noted. We're going to make up for lost time from yesterday.
So can we adjust the subject matter jurisdiction?
No, we cannot.
Talk about that.
Look at his eyes. Look, you know, he's got
We're not
crazy
gonna
eyes right
address
there.
that either.
I'm sorry. Look at him. He's got the crazy eyes right now. I mean, he's got all kinds of weird eyes. I mean, he probably has. Look at him though. Oh my God. It's like the shark eyes. Shark eyes. Dead. I gotta get that little thing that from Jaws, you know, the old. Oh well, that was a long time ago. But you know how they describe the shark eyes as dark and cold and dead. Yeah. He got crazy eyes right now. Though. Look at him. Yeah, he's gonna be an idiot. Okay. Okay, here we go. Look at him.
It's still not gonna be proven, right? It was strictly stuff.
After she just got onto him before in the last video.
That's gonna get pressed every time.
Yeah.
I've yet to prove subject matter jurisdiction. Any jurisdiction at all, rather.
The jury will disregard the comments being made by Mr. Brooks at this time. They are a mischaracterization of the law.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, they're gonna agree with you.
Absolutely not.
Because you've been an attorney for, what, a week now? During this?
All right, thank you, everyone. Please be seated. The state may call its next witness.
The state would call Lukas Hallmark.
All right, Mr. Hallmark, if you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right, up one riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will have you do is to state your first and last names for the record, and then spell each.
Lukas Hallmark, Lukas, Hallmark.
Hold on a second. It would really help if our audio's on. I'm just going to have you do that again. If you would please
This
state
would focus.
your
What's
first
going
and
on?
last names for the record.
Sorry,
And then
guys.
spell,
Trying to get
sorry.
this to focus.
Lukas Hallmark, Lukas, Hallmark.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Sir, how are you employed?
City of Waukesha Police Department.
What's your position?
I'm a detective
How long have you been with the City of Waukesha Police Department?
for approximately 15 years.
Has that been the entire time you've been in law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Direct your attention to November 21st of 2021. Were you at the City of Waukesha Christmas Parade?
I was.
Were you there as a law enforcement officer, a spectator, or participant?
I was there as a participant.
And what group were you with?
I was with the Catholic Communities of Waukesha.
Who were you there with? I mean, other than the Catholic communities, were you with your family?
I was.
And generally, I don't need names, but was your wife present?
My wife and my 4 kids at the time, yes.
And what are the ages of your kids?
At that time, they were 3, 5, 7, and 9.
And approximately how many people were walking with the Catholic communities of Waukesha?
I believe there was about 45 or 46 individuals that were walking with us.
I'm going to show you a photograph and just ask you if you recognize it. It's Exhibit 121.
As a reminder, the monitors in the jury box have about a 20-second delay, so we need to be mindful of that as we show exhibits to them. They do come on the screen, I think, a little bit more quickly, but there's rapid succession previously, so.
And I'd ask that also be published to the jury at this time. This exhibit has previously been admitted into evidence.
Permission granted. And when is the jury, let me know when that exhibit comes up on the monitors in front of you. All right.
Okay. Thank
Go ahead.
you. Sir, do you know where this picture was taken?
Objection.
Yes, that was taken
Okay, just
at Main
practicing.
Street and I believe East Avenue.
What day was it taken?
That was taken on November 21st, 2021.
And there are boxes with names that are associated with people through a red arrow. Do you see that?
Yes.
Overruled, you may answer.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And as you review those names and the people that those names are associated with, is that exhibit accurate?
Objection, lead the witness.
Sustain is to the form of the question.
Sir, do you know the people whose names appear on exhibit 121?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled, you may answer.
Yes.
And the arrows, do you see arrows on that exhibit?
Yes.
And they're going from a person to a name. Do you see that?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled, the exhibit's previously been received. You may answer.
Yes.
To clarify, Jason Peckloff, do you see him in this picture?
I do.
Can you, there's a touch screen in front of you, if you can just circle where he's at in this picture. How about Camila Perez Gonzalez? If you can circle her. Maria Alvarez Dominguez. Dair Lopez Revelar. Jose Perales Alvarez. And if we can clear the screen, and then Juan Marquez. Thank you. We can clear the screen.
Are you done with this exhibit?
I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you know the names of most, if not all, of the participants who were marching with the Catholic communities of Waukesha that day?
Most of them, yes.
At some point, did you hear some type of commotion behind you?
I did.
Can you describe to the jury what you heard?
We were walking westbound on Main Street, and near the area of about 400 to 409 West Main Street, my attention was directed towards large amounts of screaming coming from behind us, so to our east. At that point, I looked over my left shoulder. At that point, there was still some folks from our group that were behind us, so it wasn't clear, but over the tops of them I could see like a roof of a red vehicle traveling also to the east, coming towards us. I'm sorry, to the west, coming towards us.
What were your initial thoughts?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
His initial thoughts aren't
My
hearsay.
initial thought that came into my mind at that time when the screaming occurred was that there was probably a lost motorist and there was a vehicle traveling in the parade that shouldn't have been there.
Have you ever worked a Christmas parade in Waukesha?
I have.
Relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
You said you have.
I don't recall specifically the Christmas parade, but I worked other events in downtown Waukesha.
Have you ever worked a 4th of July parade?
Objection, relevancy to this incident.
Let me strike the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever worked a parade in the city of Waukesha?
I don't recall a specific parade, but I worked Friday Night Live, which is an event where they usually close down the downtown area for vehicular traffic and it's pedestrians only. So that was where I was drawing my recollection to that incident.
Are there some times when there are barricades set up and a vehicle will come into the area that they're not supposed to come in?
That does occur, yes.
What would law enforcement do in that case?
Usually stop the vehicle and direct them to either stop or remove them when it's safe to do so.
Have you ever been present where the vehicle doesn't stop?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
No.
When you said that you heard screaming, can you describe for the jury what you mean? Because we're at a parade, so I'm assuming that there's some screaming.
Objection, leading the witness.
Sustains to the form of the question.
Can you describe for the jury if the screaming stood out to you?
Yes, it was.
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes, it was something different than was actually occurring at the parade. And just to give you a perspective, at this point, we were actually almost done marching in the parade, which was actually a very big relief to me because I didn't want to be in the parade in the first place. So I was actually
I'm
very
with
relieved
him.
at that point. So, yes, at that point, this had caused some sort of commotion that was not particularly used to that we've already incurred through the entire parade.
And did you notice anything different about your surroundings as you heard the screaming?
Objection. I asked the form of that question and it was answered.
Huh?
Overruled. You may answer.
What the hell is he
Can
talking
you just
about?
repeat the question, please?
Sure. Do you notice anything other than the screaming that seemed unusual when that happened?
Objection, different question.
Overruled. Not sure what the objection is, but you may answer.
Exactly. I'm laughing with you, Judge.
So after my initial thought of that,
Oh, he's lost it.
that vehicle was just a lost motorist or they didn't know actually what was going on, that thought faded very quickly, and I realized that something was drastically wrong based on the fact that that vehicle was traveling at a significant rate of speed towards our direction.
When you first saw the vehicle or the top of the red vehicle, approximately how far was it away from you?
When I first looked back and saw it, I would estimate it to be about, I would say approximately 200 feet. My recollection is that it was near Curry Insurance.
You testified already as to where your position was at that time, correct?
Yes.
Where were you in relationship to the group that you were walking with? Where were you within that group?
Sure. So our group, we were just kind of walking together behind a white banner. There was no set, I guess, method of us walking. We actually, as we were continuing down the parade route, some of us moved forward, some of us moved back, depending on how the kids were doing. But at that particular time, I was near towards the back, so I would say the middle of the back of the group, and more towards the center of the road.
And which shoulder did you look back over when you heard the screaming?
I turned to my left.
And that's when the vehicle was approximately 200 feet away?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes.
What did you see next?
The vehicle came. I recall the vehicle coming right at to where we were walking. It started hitting folks in our group, and the only thing that I could remember doing was I had my 3-year-old in my left hand, and I had my 9-year-old in my right hand. As we're walking down the parade route, my 7-year-old was kind of walking in front of us at the time, and I remember realizing that we were going to get hit, and it was going to come very quickly. And so I grabbed my 3-year-old as hard as I could, and I threw him towards the curb. At the same time, I tried to grab Benjamin at that point and throw him with my 3-year-old.
Oh, Benjamin, is he the 7-year-old?
Yes.
And he was in front of you, you testified?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled. The answer may stand.
To the best of my memory, yes.
Yes, okay.
What a horrible
And
thing
you
he had to
stated
do.
that you had your 9-year-old in your, on your right side. What's the name of your 9-year-old?
Elliot.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. I'm sorry.
Dang, I couldn't even hardly hear what he said. God, he is being such a turd. You know, and you know that he's going to make something about the fact that the man threw his children. He always does that. And it's like, well, I would rather throw my children than have them eat the wrath of your mama's red SUV. Just, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go.
What was the name?
Elliot. Elliot
you.
Hallmark.
When you saw the vehicle and as it was coming towards you, could you estimate the speed that the vehicle was traveling?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
I estimated the vehicle traveling about 30 to 40 miles an hour,
What is the speed limit in that area of Main Street?
25 miles per hour.
So you threw your 3-year-old to your left, you stated?
Towards the curb, which would have been to the south.
And how about Elliot?
I don't remember at that point what happened with Elliot. As the vehicle passed us, I don't know if he got ripped out of my arms when the vehicle came through. I just remember that I kind of got, as I turned to my left, I pivoted on my left foot. I got clipped to my left foot, and the vehicle passed us, but I don't recall what happened with Elliot.
How about Ben?
Ben, I saw him stumble and kind of roll from where the vehicle came towards the curb to the south.
Now, when you said you got clipped, what clipped you?
Objection.
Overruled.
Objection.
It had to have been the vehicle. I had an abrasion on my left heel, and then I had white sneakers on that night, and they had black marks along where I had my abrasion on the same part.
What was that?
Okay, you know what he's going to say. Even though he's going to say objection, because you know he's asked these dumb questions. He may not, though. He's going to say, you said you were clipped. What do you mean by clipped? I don't know if he's going to say that, but it'll be funny if I predicted it. I'm already thinking, though, this poor man, he's a detective, thank God. So he's used to dealing with idiots. But, you know, right now, at this time, no, during the parade, he was off duty. He was with his kids. And he had to make the decision to throw them. And, you know, it's just, nobody should have to go through. One man did all of this. Disgusting.
That consistent with those black marks.
I would guess the vehicle tire.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Where was your wife?
She was standing a little bit behind and then to the left of us, so she would have been a little further at that point, a little bit further to the east and then to the south.
Now, in terms of the path that the vehicle was traveling prior to it striking your group, can you describe that for the jury in terms of was it on the north side of the road or the south side? Or to explain it to someone like me, if you're traveling down the parade route, was it on your left or on your right?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled.
Oh, Lord.
As it was coming towards us, as I was walking initially, we were kind of in the center of the road. So when I saw the vehicle coming, I kind of moved to the left and threw my kids to the left. So we were kind of left of the center line, so to the left, as you described, towards the south. But the vehicle had passed me on my right.
And did you say that you observed anyone get hit that was behind you?
I don't read the witness.
Overruled.
I don't recall seeing anyone specifically getting hit. I do remember hearing sounds of the vehicle striking objects, and the only objects in the road were people at the time.
Gosh.
What happened next, or what do you remember next?
I remember turning to my wife and asking her if all the children were okay, and she looked back at me and said that she didn't know where our son Elliot was. At that point, I couldn't see him either, so I began running up and down Main Street trying to locate where he was.
Did you have eyes on your 3 other children?
I did.
And what did you do with those 3 kids?
I had those children stay with my wife while I went and tried to find Elliot.
Did you find Elliot?
It was some time after, I would estimate it to be a minute to 2 minutes after the vehicle had passed, but I had located him on the road further to the south, almost immediately towards the curb was, being tended to by some individuals that had covered him up with a blanket.
Oh my gosh.
While you were looking for Elliot, did you see anyone else on the ground?
I did.
Can you describe for the jury what you observed?
There was a lot of individuals laying on the road as you look back, and I remember specifically seeing Father Pat Heppy laying on the ground. I remember he was, at that point when I had saw him, I thought he was deceased because he wasn't moving at all, so I would assume that he was knocked unconscious. I continued past, and then I remember specifically seeing a younger female who I recall to be as Yamilet Perales laying in the roadway. And 2, I thought she was also deceased because there was blood coming from like her ears, and she wasn't moving either.
Did you see anyone else before you found your son Elliot?
There was other people, but I don't specifically recalling at that particular time, no.
Once you found Elliot, what observations did you make of him?
At this point, he was awake. The person that was tending to him indicated that he was knocked unconscious. So when I had found him, he actually regained consciousness, but he was crying and complaining of injuries to his back and to his hip and to his leg.
What did you do then?
Pretty much just, I was told by the individuals that were caring for him that that we needed to keep him there for safety purposes, for like C-spine, making sure they didn't have any significant neck injuries or back injuries, and that we needed to wait there until paramedics arrived.
They eventually come and assess Elliot?
Yes, during this time I had spoken with my wife, and the decision was made that she was going to go get the car because it was, at this point, it was chaos in downtown Waukesha, and I'd actually made contact with a couple of different officers that I knew from the police department, and one of the comments was we didn't know how we were going to get a lot of these injured folks from the street to the hospital that needed care. So a decision was made that I was going to send my wife to go get the vehicle so she can remove our 3 kids that were mobile and remove them from the scene. At that time, I didn't know the extent of the injuries to Benjamin.
And that's what I was just going to ask you about. Were there any observable injuries to Benjamin at the time immediately following the car going through the group?
Objection, being the witness.
Overruled. You may
Oh,
answer.
shut up. You
I knew
just
they didn't
throwing
get
it
injured
out
because
there.
when I looked over to where he was over on the curb, I had seen that he had some facial injuries, swollen eyes, some lacerations. But he was calm and he was collected. So at that point, I didn't know that there was any other injuries to him. After the paramedics had put Elliot on a removable stretcher, I indicated that Benjamin was hurt and I needed to go bring him with us when we went to the hospital. After I went over to him to pick him up, I had looked down and I had realized that he had an open fracture to his left leg.
Oh my gosh.
So what did you do?
I picked him up, and then we ran with the paramedics down to, they called it the casualty collection point, or the point where all the ambulances were caring for individual folks.
And did you ride in the ambulance with Elliot and Ben, or did they go separately?
We went together.
Where did you go?
We went to Waukesha Memorial Hospital.
And what happened once you were at Waukesha Memorial Hospital? What did you see in general?
Yeah, I mean,
Did I hear that guy's...
because working in the city, we go to Waukesha Memorial Hospital.
I'm sorry. It sounded like I could hear that bailiff's neck crack when he made... Anyhow. Okay, sorry. That I was a little distracted. It did, man. That would have felt good. Then I was looking at Brooks, because he's going to think of all kinds of stupid, mean questions to ask.
Spoke quite a bit, and I had never seen anything like this in my entire life. It was pretty much chaos. When we first got to the hospital, there was some sort of physician or EMT that was actually triaging individuals with, I believe it was permanent marker, and they were triaging individuals on their forehead of what level of injury they needed. And based on that, this kind of directed work till they had gone inside the hospital. So when we had gone into the hospital, we were directed into the waiting room. And at that point, we were still on kind of like stretchers or backboards. We were placed in the waiting room, and we were just waiting until we could be attended to by some of the staff.
And did both Benjamin and Elliot receive treatment at Waukesha Memorial Hospital?
Yes.
What treatment did they receive, if you know?
Elliot received treatment for a severe concussion. He had a severe ankle sprain. They did a CT scan. And then with Benjamin, he ended up spending the night because the same thing, concussion, they did a CT scan, but then he also had surgery on his broken leg that night.
Now you stated initially when the car was coming towards the back of your group, you thought it may have been someone that just accidentally got on the Christmas parade route, correct?
Objection. That was not the formally question.
Huh?
Or answer, rather.
What?
Asked and answered, assistant.
So after having your initial thought,
Oh, boy.
did your thought change at some point that this isn't a misguided vehicle?
Yes.
And what did it change to?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled.
Jeez, man.
After the vehicle had come through and struck our group, and then as I looked back at all the carnage behind us, it was pretty... My thought then that we were involved in some sort of terrorist act. It was overwhelming fear, overwhelming panic amongst everyone in the downtown Waukesha.
You know, I've heard a lot of people call it carnage. And, you know, like him and many of the other officers, even my favorite, one of my favorites, whom I fondly call Officer Redbeard, you know, who did the shots at Darrell, probably wishing it had turned out a little differently. You know, it's like, look at him. He looks so young, though, man. It's crazy. But anyhow, probably is. But, you know, they've seen a lot. But, you know, he's experiencing his own family. And I marvel each time, even as long as I've been involved in this circus, at how one person could cause so much damage. You know, it's awful enough of those who passed, but those who were severely injured and are still having problems, and many will still have them for the rest of their lives. And he's asking stupid questions like, is there a financial interest attached to it? All those things are just so... He's just an evil, evil person, and it makes... It doesn't make me any less sick anytime I see him. If anything, it makes me more sick. Okay, sorry.
After the vehicle went through your group, did you ever observe it stop?
I did not.
I'm going to show you on the screen in front of you, Exhibit 140.
You can look at his
I
face
can have it
and see.
displayed in front of you and let me know when it's on your screen.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to play approximately 5 seconds. It's a 1 minute and 26-second clip. I'm going to play the first 5 seconds and see if you recognize this video.
Yes.
We can stop it and go back to 00. Does it accurately reflect what you observed on November 21st, 2021?
Yes.
Objection to the relevancy to the video.
Overruled.
Shut up, Brooks.
Does this video contain footage of the Waukesha Catholic community in the parade on that date?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
I move, sorry. Oh, okay. I would move State's Exhibit 140 into evidence and ask that it be published to the jury with sound.
Objection. Still hearsay.
The objection's noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 140 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
And I'd ask that it starts playing now.
Maybe, we'll see. I mean, it's actually at the Elks Club Lodge. It's like, see, it's really cool. Yeah, it's really. Saturday, November 20th, 2021.
It sounds like something else is.
Oh, that was. Ooh, so it already did already. Yep, it happened already. Ah, whatever.
Is there something else coming over that? That sounds weird.
That's okay, whatever.
Oh, I thought it was sounding like something was coming in from one of the other courtrooms. Okay. Oh my gosh, you can hear the thumping. Oh my God. That poor man. Oh my gosh. Look how we can just look at it like that. You can still
Did
see
you
the
see a red
pain on
SUV
his
traveling
face.
westbound in that video?
Yes.
Would that be consistent with what you saw coming from behind you on November 21st prior to what you just described?
Objection. How do we know the direction? How do we know it's westbound?
Well, you're asking. No.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you some still shots from that video and just ask if they accurately reflect what you observed.
Objection to the relevancy.
Tell him, Judge.
See them. Are you going to do that electronically or hand them to the bailiff?
I'd like to do it electronically if I could.
Go ahead.
Show Exhibit 135. Just to the witness. Sir, do you identify that as a still shot taken from the Exhibit 140?
I recognize the photos you're seeing is from the video.
Yes.
Yes.
And there are, do you see arrows? What does this photo reflect to you? Sorry.
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled.
This photo represents individuals from our group in the parade walking in front of, I believe, Magellan's, I think.
And are there names on this diagram?
Yes.
And do they appear to be associated with people within this group?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes.
How is that depicted?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled.
The names are depicted by red arrows pointing to the individuals.
And do they accurately reflect the names of the individuals that they're pointing, that the arrows are connected to?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled.
Oh my
Yes.
God. He's so
I'm going
tired.
to ask that Exhibit 135 be admitted and published to the jury.
Objection to the relevancy.
Overruled. Exhibit 135 is received. Permission to publish is granted. Keep in mind it takes a little bit for the jury to see it, at least on the monitors in the jury box.
I know it keeps starting and stopping, but you can still see the pain on his face from what he witnessed. So horrific for all those people.
It appears that the jury now can see in front of them. So with regard to this one, if you can just circle Jose Perales Alvarez.
Objection of being the witness.
Overruled.
Juan Marquez, if you see him. Marisol Lopez Gutierrez. Gregorio Romelia Perez. And Maria Perez.
Well, when I circled Gregoria, I believe I kind of got rid of Maria there. But
Is that helpful?
Yeah, Maria's right next to Gregoria.
Okay, thank you. This can be taken off. Next, I'm going to do the exact same thing with a couple more pictures. The next one would be Exhibit 136. I'll have it shown in front of you. Let me know when it's on your screen.
I see it.
Okay. If you can describe for the jury what you're seeing in Exhibit 136.
Something very similar to the last exhibit.
I'm sorry. Is there an objection?
Leading the witness.
That's not leading. It's overruled.
Oh my
You may
God,
answer.
he's never gonna learn his stuff.
This photograph appears to be a still photo from a video, similar to the last, with names with arrows corresponding to those individuals.
And do the arrows corresponding to the individuals and the names, are they accurate?
In my screen, there's
Yeah, there's a box that appears to be from
There you
the
go.
user. There you go. It needs to be removed.
Yes, it's accurate.
Okay. And do you see yourself in this photograph?
I do.
Okay. I would ask that this 136 be admitted and published to the jury.
Exhibit 136 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Objection. Why?
Why?
Where's his name if he's in the video?
That's not an objection. That's a
Yeah, he's,
question. You can certainly ask that during cross-examination, but it's just sustaining it. Go ahead and ask your next question.
I guess I'm waiting for it to be published.
I will do that.
Okay. And then a confirmation from the jury that they can see it. Sir, first of all, do you see yourself in this photograph?
Yes.
Can you circle where you're at?
Objection. Why there's no name on it?
who gives
What's
a...
the relevancy of it?
Oh, shut up. You would complain if there was a name.
Answer the question.
That's right.
Thank you. And again, the names you've testified are associated with the appropriate people, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you circle Lori Logan? Maria Alvarez Dominguez. Ashley Perales Alvarez. Margaret Cachulas. Eileen Perales Alvarez. Yamilet Perales Alvarez. I think you can possibly see her legs.
Yeah, she's wearing gray pants. I'm sorry, green kind of leggings. But you can't necessarily see her face in this photo. So, but her green pants are right there.
Camila Perez Gonzalez. And Benjamin Hallmark.
It's his son.
Thank you. You can clear the screen. Next, I'll go to 137. And again, when we're looking at these photos, these are all from the same video. Are they from the same video?
It appears so.
Okay. And approximately what location are these taken in relationship to where your group was physically impacted by the car?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
This was probably about a block prior to us being struck. I think this is right around the 300 block of West Main Street, kind of by Donnie Boy's, Magellan's, Curry Insurance area.
And would this be consistent with what you believe generally the formation would have been when your group was impacted?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes,
I'm going to show you 137
I see.
and ask you the same questions. Does this appear to be a still shot from the video that you saw in Exhibit 140?
Yes.
And what does it depict?
Depicts Jason Petloff, William Mitchell, and Father Pat Heppe walking in the parade route, holding a banner.
And are there names on that?
Yes.
Are they associated with the people you just identified
Yes.
correctly?
Correct.
I'd ask that Exhibit 137 be admitted into evidence and published.
Objection. Where's the relevancy?
Overruled. Exhibit 137 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
And again, if you can circle Jason Peckloff, William Mitchell, Father Happy. Thank you.
Does that have to come up for the jurors?
Oh, sorry.
We'll wait.
I apologize.
He'll have to redo that. It was cleared before the jury got it, so go ahead and redraw your circles.
Can you identify Jason Peckloff, William Mitchell, and Father Happy? Thank you. You can clear the screen. And finally, 128. I believe 128 may have already been admitted into evidence. I'd ask that be published to the jury.
Okay.
And
He
do you
can't
see
wait.
the name David Marquez on the screen?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled.
Yes.
And do you see David Marquez in the picture?
Yes.
Can you circle him? Thank you. You can clear that exhibit. I would
What?
Oh,
Jury does not have it yet.
Oops.
at least someone's.
I'm trying.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. It now is in the view of the jury. I'd ask that it be cleared.
All right, thank you.
Finally, Exhibit 15, which has previously been admitted into evidence. I'd ask that it be published to the jury.
Mhm.
And I would ask that they give me a signal when it's on the screen. Sir, have you seen this map before?
Yes.
And what is this a map of?
This is a map of the parade route, and it also appears to indicate where certain groups on the parade route that were impacted during this incident.
And is there any type of delineation as to exactly where the parade route, where it started and where it went to?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled.
I don't see any clear delineation in regards to an arrow, but the parade started up towards Maine and White Rock and ends towards Maine and Wisconsin.
Do you see a purple line on that exhibit?
Yes.
What does that reflect?
Objection, lead
Overruled.
the witness.
The parade route.
Hold on, sorry, what was your
Lead the
objection?
witness.
Leading, did you say? Overruled. You may answer.
It indicates the parade route.
So direct your attention to the area where the Catholic communities of Waukesha, where there's a list of names. Do you see that?
Yes.
And are all those people that are listed in that box, were they in the roadway at the time that the red SUV went through your group?
Objection, hearsay.
Oh yeah.
Overruled.
No, That's
Yes.
a lot of people. Look at that. That's
And
crazy,
again,
guys.
it's, there's a line with that box that's associated with this, a yellow star. What's the significance of that, if you know?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled.
That would be the general area where we were when we were struck.
Thank you. You can clear the screen, sorry. Now I'm gonna go to exhibit 160. And I'm just gonna ask if this, the clip is 50 seconds long. I'm gonna show you approximately 20 seconds of the clip and see if you recognize it. Do you recognize that clip? We can stop the clip, I'm sorry, we stopped it at 12 seconds. Do you recognize that clip?
Yes.
Does that accurately depict what occurred near your group, the Catholic community, on November 21st of last year?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes.
Thank you. I'd ask that exhibit 160 is admitted and published for the jury.
Objection.
Exhibit 160 is received. Permission to publish is
See how he
granted.
looked at him? He's probably like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm
No one's
gonna,
giving me a thumbs up. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Okay.
I'm gonna smack that look off his face.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. If we can play this clip from 0 to 50 seconds, which is the length of the clip. The 4 people that you saw sliding through the screen from left to right, did you recognize those people?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 126, which is a still shot from that video. If you can, it'll pop up on your screen. If you can tell me if it accurately represents that video, that still shot from a video. That video.
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Gosh, he's so barky
Yes.
too.
And I said it'd be admitted to
God,
evidence
he's
and published
crazy.
in jury.
Exhibit 126 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Are they sure they can't muzzle him?
Sir, can you identify each of the people that are shown in this still shot by saying their name and circling their position?
Yeah.
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
This is, I'm going to do it by circling.
Yes.
Okay. So this is Jason Petchloff on his back in the roadway towards the south side of the road. This is Marisol Lopez, kind of in the middle of the roadway. This is Jose Perales, just in front of Jason, a little further to the west, but on the south side of the roadway. And then Gregoria Perez, kind of further to the west in the roadway, and then in the middle.
Thank you. One last video. Sorry, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 154. I'm going to play the first 5 seconds for you and ask you if it depicts what you observed on November 21st of last year.
Objection. What's the relevancy?
Overruled. Go ahead.
What's the relevancy of you breathing air right now?
Yeah, this is a video taken, it appears to be from an individual walking, but this is like the aftermath of right after the vehicle had come through our group.
Have you seen this video clip before?
I have.
Are you able to identify many of the people in this video clip?
Objection. Hearsay. A
Overruled.
lot of people in here.
Not hearsay.
Jeez.
I'd ask that,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry, be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Exhibit 154 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Sir, I'm going to take you through this video and I'm going to pause it at certain places and ask you if you recognize anyone that's in the picture and describe their position. If we can start the video.
It's so sad. These people have to relive this over and over.
If we can pause it. Oh, if you can go back 2 seconds. There we go. Stopped at 11 seconds. Do you recognize that person on the ground?
Yeah, right here, that's Margaret Petrulius.
We can continue on from 11 seconds. And stop. Do you recognize the person depicted at 13 seconds?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled screen, I'm sorry.
You may answer.
My last screenshot is up there from the last time. I don't know if you want that clear.
Clear that. Thank you.
Laying on the ground right here in the blue, that's Lori Locken.
And if you can continue on from 13 seconds. You can pause it. Did you see anyone else? I'm sorry.
Just prior to that, I could see where my wife and the other kids were with Benjamin on the curb, kind of behind Lori.
If we go back 2 seconds, do you think that would do it?
Yeah. So yep, right there.
And if you can circle them.
So this is my daughter right here, and then right behind her, in underneath that blanket, that's where Benjamin is. He's being attended to by some of the individuals there.
Okay. If you can just say stop if you see Elliot as this goes on from 14 seconds.
Stop.
Where's Elliot?
So he's being attended to. He's right with this group of people right there.
And you recognize that to be the position you went to when you found him?
Objection. Hearsay. We can't see who that is.
It's not hearsay. Overruled.
Gosh, I'm so sick
Yes.
of them using the wrong stuff.
And that was at 20 seconds? We can clear
Seems
that.
like Judge Darrell is getting pretty
Continue
annoyed
on.
with him too.
If we pause, do you recognize anyone in this section of the video?
Yeah. So with the blue sneakers, he's lying this way. That'd be Father Pat Heppy. Laying down right here is Maria Perez. And then being attended to by these folks in front of the banner, that'd be William Mitchell.
If we can continue on. And if you see someone from your group on the ground, if you can say pause. And we're continuing on from 26 seconds. We can pause here. Do you recognize that person?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
I wish he quit saying that. She already said it wasn't.
There's two people. Marisol Lopez is right there, and then Adir Lopez is right here with the gray jacket.
And what's their relationship to one another?
Mother and child.
We can continue on from 41 seconds. Sorry, is that still Marisol?
Objection.
We can pause here.
Pause.
There's nothing for you to object for.
Who's that if you know?
So this is still Marisol.
Said objection.
Overruled.
Wow. There's nothing for you to
So,
object about.
this last yellow line I just drew, that's still
Nasty.
Marisol. Right here where I circled is being covered by a red blanket. That would be Gregoria Perez. And then over here, that would be Jason Peshloff.
Stop the video at 58 seconds. Sir, I'm going to direct you to Exhibit 162. We're almost done. 2 more exhibits.
I didn't know the video continued. I just didn't know if you wanted, because I apologize.
That's it. Let me go back,
Okay.
sir. Let me redirect your attention to
You gonna object,
Exhibit
Darrell?
154, where we were, which was 58 seconds. If we can publish that for the jury, since it has been admitted into evidence. And again.
Objection. Are we going to another exhibit? She just said 162.
We're back at 154. She
You know,
indicated.
excuse me. It annoys me. He says objection just to ask a question. Really should just be keeping his mouth shut, honestly. I just can tell by the way this is going. He's really showing his ass. And, this man has had to go look at and identify a lot of people and things. He's gonna be horrible to this man. Of course, I know that he's a detective. He's used to, douchebags like him, but it's still, though, it's very close. It's his family, it's his community, the church community, and it's just, I just can't stand cruelty to other people or pets, or any kind of animal. Okay.
Is that okay? Do you see anyone else, or should I continue playing?
I think you should continue playing.
Let's continue.
Objection.
Pause. So at 136, this would be Jose Perales.
Thank you. And that was at 136. Okay. Thank you. Did you view this video before?
Yes.
And do you know, are there any other victims depicted from Catholic communities?
Yes.
Okay, then let's keep playing it from 136.
136.
I know this is totally off topic, but it is. It's still. How many times has our friend, the bailiff, had to look at the back of Darrell's head? Think about that. I mean, well, we have to look at his hairline, but he's having to look at the back of his head. Just think about that. I wonder if he goes home and dreams about that. Then how many times has he wanted to wallop him on the back of his head? Wow. I think about, that Mr. Bailiff there and all the other guys, or the deputies who work around him, and he's treats them horribly. It's just amazing to look at him. He really does have like dead shark eyes. Ugh. Okay. I was just thinking about that for a minute. I dread for this cross-examination. Oh my gosh.
Pause.
And we paused at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Who do you identify in this clip?
This would be Yamilet Perales.
And let's continue. From 136, 2:30, I mean. Pause.
So this would be me right here, and then Elliot's lying down on the blanket.
And that's at 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think we're good. Now let's continue to exhibit 162. Is it in front of you?
Yes.
Do you recognize the person depicted in? Actually, do you recognize this person?
Yes, that's Eileen Perales.
And is that how she appeared on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay.
Mm-hmm. And is this a picture taken from a video from the parade?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes.
I'd ask that the court admit Exhibit 162 into evidence and publish it to the jury.
Objection, hearsay, and relevancy.
The objections are overruled. Exhibit 152 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
162.
I'm sorry, 162. No, publish it.
They're my green. Thank you. You just let me know when you see it.
Bored, Darrell. He can't wait to sink his teeth into this.
You stated that you could see Eileen Perales in this video, or this clip?
Yes.
And can you point her out, specifically her and the hat that she's wearing on her head?
Yeah. Eileen Perales is wearing kind of like a black coat, some sort of pink leggings, and then she's wearing some sort of like maroon colored hat with white on it, like white stripes.
If we can save this screen capture, and this would be 162A.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
If I can then,
162A has been captured.
and we can close that.
Yeah. Y'all might as well sit back, because you know when it's Brooks's
To
turn,
publish Exhibit 92, which has previously been admitted into evidence.
he's gonna make it last. He's gonna drag it out and drag it out. Torture this poor man.
So do you see the hat that's in, oh, hold on.
Ugh. Yeah,
Sir, in terms of the appearance of that hat, I'm not going to ask you if it's the exact same hat that was on Eileen's head in Exhibit 162, but is the same, is that the same type of hat in terms of, has the same wording on it, same color, same palm color as the hat that Eileen was wearing in Exhibit 162?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
It looks remarkably close, same color, same patterns of the lines, the writing, and then with the top on it. Yes.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
All right, you're crossed, sir.
Oh God, help us all. He already looks like an ass. He's still mad at them about the other thing. He's gonna take it out on this fellow.
So you saw all those videos that were shown, all exhibits rather, all 12, 13 of them. You saw all those before today?
I don't recall there was 12 videos. To best of my knowledge.
126, 15, 137, 136, 135.
Oh, you know what?
140,
Stop it.
160, 154,
Wow.
160.
Okay, he's being. Oh my God, I can't even believe he's already started out to be this hideous. You know, the jury. Screw nullification. Even if they had the power and they were going to do it, they would. They're not going to do anything he suggests. Just how he treats it. He doesn't. I can't stand that kind of attitude. He really is like middle schoolers I've dealt with. And middle school, although I've had, I'm with littler ones now, but with middle schoolers, it can be a very unattractive age. Well, that is exactly what Darrell is doing. That's so rude. See, I would just say, I would stop it right then, and I know you can't do that, but he should be admonished, or admonished, as he says. Okay, let me just pull myself together for a minute.
92, at least 11 or 12.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to strike your
Yes.
comment because you cannot testify. You did not let him answer.
You sure
Let him
didn't.
answer first, and then you can ask follow-up. The jury will disregard the statement made by Mr. Brooks. Go ahead.
I believe there was only 3 or 4 videos, but there was numerous screenshots or photos taken from those videos.
Tell him,
That's
detective.
why I said exhibits.
You didn't say that.
Have you seen all exhibits before today?
I had seen those exhibits, yes.
And do you know who took any of those exhibits, the videos or still shots?
No, sir.
So how were you able to see them?
Can you rephrase the question, please?
How were you able to see them if you don't know who took them?
I saw them on the screen. I'm not sure I'm following your question.
Before today, you said you saw them before today. That's what you just said. So I'm asking. I asked after that, do you know who took them? You said no. So how could you?
Yeah, you don't even know. That's so dumb. How could you, what?
I guess I'm asking, how would you know
Go ahead.
if you don't know who took these videos? How were you able to see them before today?
I believe they were collected by the police department as evidence.
And that's how you saw them?
That's how we were able to view them afterwards, yes.
Do you know when you viewed them?
I don't recall.
Did you view all 12 of them in their entirety at the same time, or were they at different dates?
Yeah, that's the form of the question.
Grounds.
Kid, did you view them all in their entirety? Again, it makes it seem like he's referring to videos, and if he is, that's fine. If he can just clarify videos or exhibits.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Not only that, he needs to change his damn tone. You know how he's always talking about if somebody says anything to him? I don't like your tone, Judge. I don't like Attorney Hopper's tone. But you know what? His tone is disgusting. Hey, mysterious man in blue suit over there. Actually, I don't have him captured in this, but he's over there. All right.
Please rephrase.
Exhibits.
Could you just repeat the question, please?
And don't
At
act.
what time did you see all the exhibits in their entirety? Was it the same day or was it different days?
I don't recall specifically. I just reviewed the exhibits, the photos, not the videos, but the photos, as you're explaining in these exhibits, prior, in preparation of my testimony.
In preparation of your testimony? What do you mean by in preparation of?
Oh my God.
Preparing my testimony for court, making sure that everything maybe kind of recall my memory, anything to that nature, making sure that everything is accurate in what I'm going to testify to.
If everything you're going to testify to is truthful, why would you need to prepare for it?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
I think it says argumentative. I know I'm no expert, but I think he just says ask.
Why would you need testimony preparation?
This is a pretty significant incident. I wanted to make sure that I was prepared fully for being here and testifying.
You know what? I could answer that for him. Could it be perhaps that because look at this. Look at their expressions. Look at Zach. See? It's like what he doesn't understand is Brooks doesn't understand because he's not human and he has dead shark eyes. He doesn't understand that all of these people witnessed something that was horrific for them, and traumatic. And there's details that a lot of people, say that they don't remember, and they hope that they don't. And so Brooks is just trying to make it into some, something all sneaky and all that stuff, but it's not that. He just doesn't understand that. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm getting so upset. I am though. I can't. Look at Attorney Basie. And that journalist back there is like, you know what? He's a stupid ass, but I'm probably going to laugh. Okay. Yeah, he's going to really just try to oh my gosh, he needed some holy water on him.
Wouldn't it be easy to just come in and recount what you saw?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
No, he's not asking. That's not a correct question.
Please rephrase.
Is it fair to say that it would be fairly easy to state what you saw that evening?
No, it wouldn't be. Are you crazy?
Yes.
Well, I'm saying no. I mean, it'd be easy, but you forget things.
So why exactly did you feel the need that you had to prep yourself?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained also asked and answered.
Yeah. Do your aggressive eyebrows. I'll knock those eyebrows right off. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
I'm going to direct your attention to Exhibit 154, which is a video. So that's clear for the record, not a still frame. It's a video.
Boy,
You
you're...
want to put up for him?
I want it put up for him.
Please.
It's been received before. Put it up, please.
Can we go to 41 seconds?
Sure. Thank you to the state for assisting. 41 seconds, you said?
41 seconds.
I'm telling you what. Would there be another judge
Is
that
it
would?
fair to
Hold
say
on, do you want
The
to wait until
tone, the
jury has it
tone.
in front of
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You wait, Mister.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay, there's a delay. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's
Yeah.
short.
A lot more
Seems to
things
be long right
to be
now.
sorry for than that. I can't stand his tone with this man.
All right, we're good. Go ahead.
So in this exhibit, which is a video that's paused at 41 seconds, we can see two people laying on the ground. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Can you see any of the two people's faces right now?
Oh, I
as
see what
it's
he's gonna
paused?
pull now. Mm-hmm.
No.
So it would be fair to say that you can't positively say who that is from this
Oh my
part of
God.
the video that's paused right now.
Well, based on my experience, based on clothing descriptions, obviously Idea and Marisol are mother and child, and body structures, that's how I'm able to identify who they are.
What do you mean by body structure?
Oh my
Well,
God.
Idea is a little bit smaller and Marisol's a little bit larger, and that's how I have memory of who she is.
Would you agree that they're kind of like bunched up, like kind of balled up?
Yeah, probably because you ran over him.
I would agree that Idea is, yes.
What's your point?
Can you see faces?
No, sir.
So it would be fair to say that you don't know for sure who that is.
I'm pretty confident that's Marisol and Idea.
Pretty confident?
I'm very
Oh
confident.
my gosh, you need to stop it.
So why not be very confident the first time the question was asked? Grounds. Grounds.
Sustained.
Yeah, no
Let's go to
crap.
58 seconds and pause.
So he's got to keep doing stuff like this crap. You know, they should just stop it. I guess they can't. But I mean, the jury is looking at him and saying,
Right here in front of us,
"Here we go."
see three people kneel down. We see someone with a pinkish blanket covering them, and we see a lady with a black coat with a white kind of like top to it. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the face of the person laying on the ground under the pink blanket?
No, sir.
For the love of God.
Would it be fair to say that you don't know for sure who that is?
As I described before, I'm very confident that that's Marisol that's laying on the ground.
And how can you tell that from the picture that we're looking at now?
Well, not specifically just from this picture, but like I stated before, as the video was moving, you could see clothing descriptions, body structure, who she's laying next to.
Is it fair to say that the exhibit is not moving right now? It's paused.
Yes, sir.
And it's paused with not being able to see who's under the pink blanket. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
So how can you say for sure who that is?
For sure.
If I was to just view this video or this photo without any other context, you're probably correct. I probably wouldn't be able to identify any particular person, but because of the video and how it moved and how I was able to see people, I was able to confirm that'd be Marisol.
And you came to that conclusion because you've seen these videos before today, or these exhibits rather.
Or maybe he saw the
today.
people
Would
at the
that be fair to
parade.
say?
How about the people?
No, I come to the conclusion with my memory of being there at that night.
Thank you. Yeah, my
But
words
you
too.
did state, just so we have clarity, that you in fact saw these exhibits before today. Would that be fair to say? Grounds.
Please.
Oh, it has been asked and answered, but I'll let the witness answer that question.
Really?
again.
Yes, sir.
Here, good.
Towards the, I don't know what that direction would be. I'm guessing that would, if you're looking at it the way I'm looking at it, it'd be towards the right.
This way?
We're coming back a little bit more. Right where the lady with the white coat is, you see a few people. It looks like three. kneeled over someone that is under a blanket with, it looks red with like snowflakes or something on
Underneath
it.
that's your
You can
tire
see
tracks.
like a black, I don't know if that's like a shoe or,
Oh my God, this is such stupid
I'm guessing that's a
questions.
shoe or a boot or something to that effect.
What's your point?
Is that fair to say that you can see that?
Yes.
Can you tell who that is just looking at it right now?
Well, I know that that's Gregoria, yes.
Can you tell who it is looking at it right now? Can you see their face? Can you identify them right now?
I wish somebody
Not
would
see their
stop
face.
this. This is ridiculous.
So it'd be fair to say that you're not sure who that is.
Look at him with his shark eyes and his aggressive
I am
eyebrows.
sure who that is.
Don't, yeah.
And you come to that conclusion based on what we're looking at right now at this moment.
Right now, at this moment.
Objection.
Grounds.
This characterizes this witness's testimony.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Thank you. Good gosh.
Let's go to 136. Same exhibit and pause.
Here we go. He's gonna make it to where he can't see the face. He was there with them at the parade, though. You are gonna remember those certain things.
Is it fair to say we can see someone with laying on the ground? They have like a bluish jacket. You can only see one arm, so the sleeve. The jacket is blue. It looks like they have like a red, something red next to, which is obviously a lady in a gray jacket, white hat.
Are you sure it's a
Guy
lady?
in a red, looks like a hoodie.
Sure it's a guy?
And someone else to their right, I would say, and a jacket and a cap with a, looks like a baseball cap. Would it be fair to say that you can see that?
Yes.
And the person that's laying on the ground, can you see their face?
Listen to his tone. It's
Okay.
disgusting. I can't
So
stand
would
his
it be fair
tone.
to say that you don't know for sure who that is?
I'm sure I know who that is.
Based on what we're looking at now, you can tell who that is.
Based on my recollection of the incident that night, I know who that is.
Based on what we're looking at right now on the screen, can you tell who that is?
Is right now
You gotta
crap.
see their face.
I know who that is. I cannot see their face.
So it'd be fair to say from this picture, you're not sure who that is.
Don't put words in his mouth.
Rounds.
This is testimony.
Sustained.
Please, dude. He's being
To the right of
ridiculous.
the screen, right here. Can't tell how many people is kneeled down right there, but it's obvious that they're attending to somebody. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
How do you know it's obvious?
Can you see who that is that they're
Who
attending
that
to
is.
in any way?
Not from this vantage point, no.
So it'd be fair to say that you don't know who that is that they're attending to, correct?
I know who they're attending to.
And you can tell that by what we're looking at right now.
Oh, God.
Objection.
Grounds.
This characterizes the
He needs to
testimony.
stop.
Grounds.
As testified as this video was going through, who he believed each person was.
Who he believed.
Oh, my
We're
God.
looking right now.
Mr. Brooks, let me rule on the objection.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Thank you. Overruled, he may answer.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Can
Don't
you
be-
tell from what we're looking at right now? Can you tell who that is that they're attending to?
You cannot see that is Jason Petchoff behind them, but that is who is laying on the ground right there.
And you can tell that by what we're looking at right now. You can see who that is.
Oh, my God.
No, based on my recollection of the incident, is why I know who that is.
I'm saying referring to what we're looking at.
He's doing
not
very well.
Your recollection, what we're
Oh,
currently
not his
looking at
recollection?
right now.
Wow. That's so
Can you
annoying.
tell who that is that's being attended to?
He's already said
based
yes.
on what we're looking at right at this moment.
You cannot see who the individual is.
Can we go to 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Don't worry. This
And
is not.
pause.
This is not impressing the jury at all. I can guarantee you that.
Can we erase that circle and arrow?
Please.
It's been done.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right in front of us, we can see this a group of people standing over someone who appears to be laying on the ground. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
It looks like they have a Scooby-Doo blanket over them. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
By what we're looking at right now at this moment, can you tell who's under the Scooby-Doo blanket?
I know who that is.
It's
Can
Shaggy.
you tell by what we're looking at this moment? At this
He's so
moment right now,
confrontational.
can you tell who's under the Scooby-Doo
Could
blanket?
somebody address his
No, sir.
tone? It's so stupid.
We go to 241 and pause. Would it be fair to say that right now we're looking at what appears to be could be police officer, some kind of law enforcement, could be security guard or anything, but some type of law enforcement. We see someone, it looks like a woman who you can't see the top of her head, but you can see like her chin and her bottom lip has black jacket. And right in between those, the law enforcement and the woman, you can see that someone's laying on the ground, and you see 3 people attending to them. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell about what we're looking at right now? Can you say exactly who that is?
100% confident because I'm in that photo.
And is that you standing over in front of him?
I'm standing over my son.
Or not standing? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Kneeling.
Yeah, you should be sorry.
Kneeling in over the top of who's on the ground.
Yes, my son is crying because he just got struck by a vehicle and I'm trying to console him.
That wasn't the question.
Oh, shut up. Yo, stop it.
That's you kneeling over with the hat. And
He's
it
a
looks
cop. I
like-
know I
like
can't
a
stand it.
grayish-
Sickening.
I don't know if that would be a hoodie, but like looks like it's something like bluish black to the sleeve. Would that be you?
I'm wearing a gray sweatshirt. My son is wearing the blue jacket.
I could be mixed up. I
Yeah,
apologize
you're
for
you're
that.
totally mixed up.
So it would be safe to say, by what you just said, you were 100%. You were
Oh my
adamant,
God.
100% that you knew who that was. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
That
But
would
you
be
didn't
fair.
have that same enthusiasm for everybody else that
Oh
we were
my
just looking at.
gosh.
Would that be fair to say?
Objection, this
He needs.
characterizes
This
this
is.
witness's
Yeah. This is really.
Grounds.
Stop it.
Sustained.
Stop it, guys.
It's also argumentative.
It's very argumentative, and he's nasty, and his tone is hideous. He's talking about people lying on the ground that he ran over. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all just. I'm sorry. I'm very. I know. I got to quit saying I'm sorry. I'm passionate about it.
And out of all the exhibits,
Are we done with this exhibit?
oh yeah, we're done. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Whatever. At all these exhibits.
Out of all the exhibits
Mm-hmm.
that you were shown during the initial questioning, you're not sure who took any of those videos?
What does it matter? What does that matter? Your mama could have taken him. He thinks he's so smart, but he's got
There
his.
was quite a few exhibits that were shown. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Let's pummel him. Come on.
And do you recall exactly the estimate of how far the vehicle was from you when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, that's when the initial scream started. I think it was about 200 feet behind me.
And how did you come to that?
You know what? His expertise as a cop Quit
When I
asking
first
for
saw it, I believed it, my recollection that it was kind of near Curry Insurance. So I would take that as like almost like a half city block. So it was on the other side of Maple Avenue. So I just estimated that based on my experience with feet.
So you felt that that estimate was accurate,
I don't know.
or did you know for sure?
No, I don't know for sure.
Commend him for being
You
so
stated
calm.
that your 9-year-old was in your right hand and your 3-year-old was in your left hand. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And you threw him.
At some point that your 9-year-old was ripped, or you didn't know if your 9-year-old was ripped out of your hand? Can you explain what do you mean by ripped?
God. Oh my gosh.
At the point where I lost contact with him is about the point where the vehicle had come through. So I didn't know if it was the force of the vehicle taking him away from me that forced our hands to be separated, or if we had just separated hands prior to that. But based on my recollection, it was simultaneously as the vehicle had passed through us.
And was that 9-year-old injured?
Yeah, Elliot was thrown in the air and he was knocked unconscious.
Yeah. Were you not listening? Oh my God, that sounds as mean as Brooks.
What happened with your 3-year-old that was in your left hand?
I threw him with my left hand towards the curb. He did not get struck.
When you say threw him, what do you mean by that? Was it
Oh, here we
was
go.
holding on to
Threw
it,
him.
a
Sorry.
quick toss, or was it like a
Oh my-
harsh
Oh
push,
my
or
God.
define thrown?
I picked him. I was holding on to him with my left hand. I grabbed him off the air and threw him as far as I possibly could because I knew that he was going to get hit by a car.
Do you recall if he was hurt in the throat?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Overruled, he may answer.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
I didn't actually see him that night because I stayed with my other son at the hospital. But as far as my recollection, I don't think he was injured from that, no.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, was he injured in any way?
No.
He just said that.
You made a reference to the speed.
How do you know?
How did you come to that estimation of speed? Do you have any expertise
Of course
in
he
speed
does.
analysis anyway?
No, just my experiences driving as a motorist and being in law enforcement for 15 years.
Yeah.
Estimating
Exactly.
vehicle speeds.
So
Gosh.
it'd be fair to say you don't know for sure.
That's correct.
Jeez.
And I assume that you were interviewed by other officers at some point. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall if it was that night or if it was in the following days?
Well, the night of the incident, I informed my department that I had been involved in the incident. So I reported it that night verbally, but a statement was later given to the department in a more formal matter.
And you already stated that your 9-year-old son did get struck. Did you actually see that?
I did not see him get thrown in the air, no.
He was the one. It's a severe
Even
concussion.
though you had him in your right arm, or right hand rather.
Correct.
Did you see where the vehicle went after it passed you?
I did not.
Did you see anyone else get struck once it passed you?
I did not.
Please be done. Just be done. You're an idiot.
In a summary of your report,
Oh God, here we go with the reports. He's gonna mess that up.
do you recall stating to the officer that you were interviewed by that you saw a second unconscious person laying on the ground that you further described as a Hispanic female?
Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say that in your testimony here today you gave names? That'd be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Why not in the summary of your report did you give names and just say a Hispanic female?
And I'm just going to object to the form of the question. He's indicating that it's Detective Hallmark's summary in this report. It's not been established. Okay.
It's in the form of the question.
Yeah, thank you.
I was referring to
No, we don't care.
him already testifying that he had knowledge of everybody that was in his group.
Refresh your question.
Yeah, just shut up and refresh it. Or rephrase it.
At
Come
the
on.
time of your summary,
It's not his summary.
did you know the identity of the Hispanic female that you referenced?
An objection to the form of the question. It's not his summary per se.
That's
Sustained
correct.
is to the form of the question.
Thank you.
So should I say in the summary that you gave,
No,
do you recall
he didn't give the
that
summary.
comment?
Objection mischaracterizes
Thank you.
the summary.
Grounds.
Come on, Judge. Shut it down. Don't say you can answer.
Sustained is to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
Yeah, keep trying. Keep pecking
The
it.
summary that was given by the officer that you gave the report to,
Mm-hmm.
do you recall that
Yes.
statement?
I'm sorry.
I am going to object. The witness has answered the question. Again, I would just indicate for the record that I believe what Mr. Brooks is looking at is a different officer's report that summarizes the statement that that officer received from Detective Hallmark. With that understanding that that's what it is, I would ask Mr. Brooks to maybe ask his next question with keeping that in mind.
Objection to being called that. I don't identify.
We don't give a crap at this point.
Called that name, and I
Next
made
question,
reference-
sir.
Yeah.
I made reference that it was
Next
by
question.
another officer.
Yeah, move.
Next
Move on.
question, please.
Thank you. We're all done with you. Oh, that sounds as bad as Brooks. Believe it or not, guys, I'm usually a really easygoing person.
You made reference to your son being attended to by two men. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, sir.
At the time of the incident,
Oh, good.
did you know who those two men were?
No, sir.
Two nice strangers.
And when did you learn of the identity of those two men?
It was a couple days after the incident. I learned the identity of one individual that was attending to my son.
Do you know if they
Called
or
a
do you
claim.
recall them giving you any additional information that you didn't have that night?
Hopefully they identified
yes.
Darrell.
Do you recall if they were active participants in the parade or just spectators? Did they give you that information at any time?
This individual was a spectator.
To your recollection, did the spectator tell you where they were positioned at when they attended to your son?
Yes.
Dumb questions. Ow. Oof. He's. Sorry about that. I got a little cramp in my leg. It's like he's just prolonging too long. What more could he possibly ask?
And who's Charles?
His son,
That'd be my
Charlie.
3-year-old.
Uh-huh. I think they call him Charlie. See, I know more about it than Brooks.
And Benjamin.
That'd be my 7-year-old.
Were you not listening? He apparently wasn't.
Do you recall what happened with Benjamin when you saw the vehicle approaching?
Yeah, he was run over by the vehicle on his left leg.
Do you at any time recall making a statement in the summary that was given by another officer?
Oh, God.
Do you recall making the statement, you threw Charles and Benjamin as hard as you could towards the south curb?
Yes, sir.
If you already stated that you threw your 3-year-old, which you just said was Charles, and you also just acknowledged that you threw Benjamin.
Objection as to the characterization. He acknowledged that the summary that Mr. Brooks is reading said that he threw Benjamin.
He answered the question.
He did not. I believe there's an objection. I'll sustain it as to the form of the question.
Yeah, thank you.
Please
Don't argue,
rephrase.
Brooks.
It also mischaracterizes the, well, I'll just leave it at that.
No, don't all excited.
Answer the
No.
question.
No, you're asking stupid questions. She'd been taking notes of what this man was saying.
So did you throw Benjamin as hard as you could to the south curb, or did you see Benjamin struck by the vehicle?
So when the vehicle was coming and I threw Charlie, I knew that Ben was in front of us, so it was the same motion with my left arm to get Benjamin and Charlie out of the way. Obviously, I didn't get Benjamin completely out of the way of the vehicle.
Any idea why that was not in the summary?
Oh, my God.
I
How
don't
would he
recall.
know?
Grounds.
He answered it. He said, I don't know. His answer may stand.
Thank you.
Besides your children, the other people that you observed injured, did you immediately receive information what those injuries were at that time?
At that time.
Can you repeat just to be clear of who you're talking about?
The other people that were with your group, not your children, but other people that were
There was
with
a
your
lot of
group.
people there,
Do you
man.
recall receiving information about their injuries at that time?
At that time.
I did not receive information about their injuries.
But everyone
So
had
it
a...
would be fair to say you knew that they were hurt, but you didn't know the severity of it.
Exactly.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Jeez. So much for their extra witness today. You know that Brooks ruined that one.
And besides your children, who else was with you when you went attended the parade that evening?
Well, there was 45 of us that were walking together.
Yeah.
But to go down to the parade, it was me and my immediate family, so it was me, my children, and my wife.
Do you recall your wife being injured in any way during the incident?
No.
Do you recall where she was when the vehicle passed you?
God.
Yes.
Where was she directly next to you, to the side of you, standing right on?
Just
right
shut up
next
and let
to
him
you,
answer
or
it.
Do you remember the general area she was at that moment?
Sorry, guys. I'm super cranky.
I thought I answered it. She was
did.
further to kind of as we're marching, as you see in the video.
Again, he
further
didn't pay
to
attention.
the left and then behind.
And she didn't report any injuries of any kind.
She was, I believe she was 6 months pregnant at the time. So she went and got checked up just to make sure she wasn't injured, and no, she wasn't injured at all.
Thank goodness. They are so over.
No further questions.
Thank God. Please redirect.
Redirect.
Real brief.
Good.
Sir, the identifications that you made in the exhibits that were shown to you on direct examination, are you 100% confident in those identifications?
Yes, ma'am. Here,
Shut up.
Sorry.
Overruled.
I'm
You
yelling,
may
shut
answer.
up.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am.
What is that based on?
My recollection of the incident.
Thank you. Nothing good.
All right, thank you, sir. You
Yeah, there you go. And don't try to act all slick like you did everything so cool, because it was dumb.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you so much for your patience, as it was the court who wanted to keep moving a little bit tonight. I know we're a little bit late.
Yeah, we know why,
I will read the
too.
instruction, and then you will be dismissed for today, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Do not begin your deliberations and discussion of the case until all the evidence is...
So we don't need to go through and hear this, but I'm gonna try to go forward, skim forward, and just see if he says something stupid at the end.
has reason to believe that another juror has violated these rules, you should report that to me. If jurors do not comply with these
Who's he
rules, it
looking
could
at?
result in a new trial involving additional
curious.
time and significant expense
I
to
turned
the
it on
parties
at
and
the
the
end because I
taxpayers.
saw he was starting to
You
look
are
at
to
people.
decide the case solely on the evidence offered and received at trial. With that, you are excused for the evening. All rise for the jury, please.
Does he have to put his head so far back in the air?
I just have a couple of housekeeping matters. Please be seated.
Why is he looking so
My
angry?
recollection, there's been a couple of exhibits that were annotated and captured that I don't know were specifically moved in. I'd ask the parties to look at that and let me know if there's any requests as it relates to that. I also want to provide the parties with a copy of an incident report. This relates to an incident last week from the 6th, where I told the parties, or I asked the Sheriff's Department to provide me with a report regarding the incident with Mr. Brooks and being removed from the courtroom. And I believe he may have even filed like a use of force form or something like that. But I wanted to have it notated or noted in the record. And so that incident report has been filed with me. I have a redacted report so that the Sheriff's Department is in compliance with that. The parties are getting an unredacted report. The unredacted will be kept on file but sealed, and then the unredacted will be and the redacted will be what's available for the public should anyone request that. So that's one thing that's coming. Then, just as a courtesy, even though I'm not required to do this, sir, I did follow up on your inmate communication form with our clerk of court, Monica Paz. She has, I have the response here, and I'm going to provide that for you so that it's notated on the record. And so there's a cover letter, and then there's some documents pursuant to your request. I'll give that to and then along with, on the back, will be that incident report. So that's being provided as well. And then the state will get a copy
Oh,
of
that
that
it's like
incident
this. Oh, okay.
report.
It's the sheriff guy behind him.
I
First
don't
I
know
thought
if
it
you
was.
want a copy of what Mr. Brooks was requesting, but at least that inmate communication form has been filed into the case I
Okay,
believe
that
it's
guy's
documents the
Brooks.
state could simply pull off of the electronic filing system in any event. And then lastly, I had marked, this is the exhibit 6 that I previously had ordered struck. I just wanted to make a record that it's marked, it's in this envelope, it will be kept with the file for any potential use later on. I just hadn't made a record of that, so that's there as well. That does cover all of my housekeeping issues with that, given the state's request or Attorney Opper's request to start late tomorrow, and frankly, given the late night tonight,
Thanks to
we
Brooks.
will start tomorrow at 9 a.m. Is that enough time for you?
Yeah, yes. I was actually gonna withdraw my request because we have another jam tomorrow in that we have a witness that we have to guarantee get out of here by noon. So my request is perhaps, if the court's willing, we could start at 8:30 with the preliminary matters. We could still have the jury come in at 9, but if there's any preliminary matters, we could start with Attorney
I need to let
Daisy.
them know, I told them 9:15 in my note that I gave to Mike, so
I
I don't
see.
know if we can still get a hold of them, we probably can.
Okay.
So, maybe someone's gonna need to tell them quickly, so I
Okay.
need to stay here so I won't step off, so we can
Okay.
keep going, but,
So
so
if
9 o'clock it is.
Okay.
You wanna start, how about we do 8:45?
Have the jury here at 8:45?
No, party's here at 8:45.
Party's here at 8:45 without
Jury
me.
by 9,
Attorney Daisy and Attorney Witch will be here at 8:45. I'll be here at 9.
alright,
Okay, thank you.
alright. Then, just, Mr. Brooks, those things were provided to you?
Yeah, we know. Blah, blah, blah. Good.
And just very briefly, so we can get out of here.
Please don't talk.
I have to raise this issue.
Oh boy. I can't wait.
What issue, Mr.
My
Brooks?
understanding, how can someone who's not an injured party testify on behalf of somebody who is an injured party?
Mr. Brooks,
And it still be
I'm
charged.
not addressing this. It is a frivolous argument.
Oh, yeah, it really
We have
is.
a misunderstanding of the law. We are in recess. I am leaving the bench. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah.
We're in recess.
So that's a tacit agreement. We're not
Yeah, if you can't say it right, it doesn't mean anything. What about the estoppel? Man. Wow. Well, I know I was a bit rambunctious, and I don't know what to say. I just, I can't stand for him to try to make everybody else look stupid, which they don't. It's just, I don't like what he puts people through after what they've already been through. But, you know, he's even making me tired. But anyhow, you know what? We got through it, and we know. I just still feel very sad of all those people that are injured and are probably still suffering with injuries. And it's unfair. And he's going to complain about a little tiny cut he gets, and, you know, because he got roughed up. Oh, yeah, the little tiny cut was from the incident because he was, you know, they had to kind of move him a little bit by force. Anyhow, neither here nor there. Well, bless the Catholic community. That was a tough one. I felt really bad for them. But you know what? They're tougher than him. And he's just a coward. So, all right. So, I hope you all enjoyed. And until we get to the next circus, be kind to one another. Be kind to you. I love you. I thank you so much for all your support. And I'll see you the next time.